All right, we are gonna go over some joint movement and floor yoga. So if you don't sit comfortably on the ground, that's okay. You can grab a chair and do this. Feet can be on the ground. Or if you just have a hard time with your knees, you can like sit up and have your hips higher. That might help, or sitting on a block or pillow or whatever. Basically, we just want to settle the body and come into stillness. Straight, long spine, neck is nice and long, and we'll start breathing through the nose. So inhaling for 4 through the nose. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. As you inhale, you'll feel everything rise, but also make sure you can feel the ribs and the belly expand. And when you're ready to exhale, consider rooting down, noticing how your body meets the earth, your pillow, the chair, and you kind of sink in. Inhale and exhale. In and exhale. We'll add the arms, fingertips straight down. When you're ready for an inhale, exhale. You want your movement to be on pace with your inhale and exhale. One more in and exhale. Inhale up. As you exhale, take one hand to your knee, other hand behind you. Maybe it touches down, maybe it's just out long. You can look forward or back, see which feels better on your neck. Inhale, make your spine just a little bit taller. Exhale, twist. Think about wringing out the spine. And then on an inhale, both arms to center. Exhale, grab the other knee. Sit up nice and tall on an inhale. Exhale, twisting deeper. And inhale to center. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, press your hands forward. Inhale up. Exhale, drape them down. Inhale, hands to heart. This time, interlace the fingers. Press the hands away, arch the spine. When you're ready for an inhale, press your hands up. And exhale, arms down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, hands to heart, interlace. Exhale, press away, round the shoulders. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, hands at heart. Exhale, press them away. Inhale to the ceiling, and removing the shoulder joints in all different ways. Exhale, hands to your side. Good. I'm gonna roll out the shoulders. Maybe do a little bit of like a half smiley face rotation at the beginning of a yoga practice, taking your right ear to right shoulder, exhaling chin to chest. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. I don't typically go all the way around. If your neck is already loose and stretched, maybe go all the way up and around. This just feels nice. So we're moving the spine. We've twisted. We've moved the shoulder joints, now the cervical spine. And we're gonna come over onto hands and knees pose. So I'm gonna remove my pillow And I'm on a mat. You could have a blanket or a towel under your knees just for a little bit of extra cushion there. If you're not feeling good on your knees, you can always be sitting in a chair and do what you can there. But spread your fingers nice and wide, toes spread apart, tuck them. And then shift forward just a bit so your shoulders are kind of right over your wrists. And then take an inhale, fill up the belly, neck is long. Exhale, pull the hip bones together just slightly, turning the belly button on, neck still long. Again, just like that, press into your fingers and toes. Inhale, fill up the belly and ribs. Exhale, pull the hip bones together. And now we'll start to move through a cow pose. Drop the belly button towards the ground so your spine will arch a bit. Don't dump into the low back. Open the chest. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. You'll look up only to what's comfortable. Inhale. And as you exhale, press into the fingers, round the shoulder blades. Look between the knees. That's your angry cat pose. And you can use your breath here too. Inhale. And exhale. We'll come back to a neutral spine. The hip bones kind of moving towards each other just slightly, protecting your lower back. Inhale, your right hand goes up to the sky, just a little twisting. Exhale, weave it under your left. Reach for the other side of the room. Inhale up. Exhale, weave it through. One more time. And exhale. From here, I like to put my cheek ear down, keep my bottom high, and twist all the way over, kind of into a resting pose. You could do this on a pillow. If it doesn't feel good, skip it all together. And you'll inhale and exhale. Press into the planted hand, open up, and then back to neutral. We'll do a cow. Exhale, cat spine, round the shoulders, look down. Back to neutral. Other side. Inhale up. Exhale, weave it through. Inhale. And exhale. On this third one, taking a little deeper. And back to neutral. Another common floor yoga is to widen the knees, sit back on the heels, and arms out long. Forehead down. That's called child's pose. You can breathe here. When you breathe into the belly in that position, just think about softening the belly between your legs. Inhale and exhale deeply. If that hurts your knees, don't do it. You could bring a pillow between so you could rest down, floor's a little closer. You could also tuck your toes and have your bottom high. That might feel better. A lot of times with child's pose, you have to fidget with it to find what feels good, especially if you have knees that hurt or haven't been moved and flexed in a while. Another way to do child's pose is knees together, and if it hurts your shoulders to have them out, you can just come like around and down. But if you're in your child's pose, just breathe. It's a nice grounding pose for a stressful day. Also a great stretch all the way alongside the body. Good. If child's pose doesn't work for you at all, you can always be on your back, pulling the knees in. Same shape, right? You can wrap around. When I am in this position, I like to take one hand on each knee and circle. Still breathing in and out through the nose, nice and slow. There's no rushing, no fast pace in yoga. It's all about calming the mind and the body, the nervous system, taking us from active to restful, but meditative movement almost. All right, if you're not on your back, go ahead and roll over. Plant the feet, widen the knees. And I have, like, if you're on a mat, I usually go to the outside of the mat where I can feel it. And then just inhale through, make the belly rise. Exhale, sink it in. Empty all the way out, follow the exhale. And then again. And exhale. Inhale. This time, exhale, drop both knees to one side. Take your arms out wide. Just an open twist. This is great for the digestive system, twisting the spine. You exhale, let it go. You're ready to inhale. Take the entire inhale to come back to the center. It'll give you a little outer hip stretch. Going nice and slow. When you're at a full inhale, exhale, drop to the other side, nice and slow. And we'll just roll through that with your breath. So inhale, take the whole inhale to come up, knees to the ceiling. And exhale, drop to one side. Inhale, center. Exhale to the other side. Now maybe start to incorporate your neck. So when your knees are one way, maybe your head faces the other. Inhale to center. Exhale, neck goes to the other side. Just a couple more, we'll do one on each side. Anytime you're moving a joint, you're lubricating it. So we're moving the entire spine in rotation. The hips also, that ball socket. The knees are moving, the feet, the ankles, the neck. All right. You probably are familiar with this. Leave one leg planted, the other one comes up over. You can press away the knee. Take an inhale here. Notice where you feel sensation. For example, the outer side of my hip is feeling just a touch of a pull, stretch. This might be intense for you. If there's ever pain, you just move your legs out longer, the bottom leg a little straighter. If you don't feel much, maybe you're already a little more flexible than this opening of the hip. You could also interlace your hand behind the opposite leg. You could straighten and flex it. And then maybe rock. See if that allows for a feeling or a sensation that feels good. And then just come back to breathing, inhaling through the nose. Exhale. One more inhale and exhale. And plant the feet, unwind, and switch to the other side. Notice on this side, usually we have something different on each side. Maybe one feels good and one feels better. Finding your sweet spot in this figure four. Opening up that hip, nice and gentle. If you want to try a rock, maybe this side you want to be still. And inhale and exhale. What's nice about floor yoga is This yoga is great to wake up the body in the morning, get things moving, break up fascia that got tight over the evening. But it's also so comforting and so nourishing when you're getting ready for bed. All right, so those are a few of my favorite floor moves. Let me show you one more since I just turned down to my side. You have your hands spread out to a T or elbows bent for a 90 degree. Take one knee over on top of the other, and then you'll look to the other side. So this is called supine twist. If you find that your shoulder is hanging in the air, grab a pillow, pop it under there. If you find your knee is kind of hanging, you could put something between your knees or over. Usually you have to find something different on each side. I see a lot of people have one leg straight and one leg bent over, maybe a pillow underneath. Some people need to stretch their leg over the top. Can't really do it wrong, but find your sweet spot and then take 3 intentional breaths. So inhale through the nose, filling up the low belly, the ribs, the lungs. Exhale. And maybe with each exhale, you just kind of sink and melt, surrendering a little bit more. And we'll slowly come back to center, moving to the other side, getting situated first. And then 3 intentional breaths, bringing the breath all the way down to the belly. Exhaling, emptying completely. Follow that exhale. And surrender, release, settle. And slowly back to center. I like to go onto my side to get up, back to the seated position. And one thought about meditation, right? So many people are like, oh, I can't, my mind's too busy. The thing about meditation is it can be moving when you're coming back to thinking about that breath. So if you were breathing with me, or every time I cued to inhale and exhale, you thought about inhaling and exhaling, you were meditating. It's just like being intentional with where your mind goes, allowing it, and then bringing it back to what you're focused on. The stretch, the breath. So at the end of class, and if you've ever been to a yoga class, they typically have you lay down on your back, close your eyes, and they call it Shavasana or corpse pose, resting. It's meant to be intentionally kind to yourself. Your mind will wander, and you just come back and say, okay, I see that thought, but I'm not going to attach to it. I'm not going to grip on. And then you just keep breathing. So if you feel good right now, you've moved your joints in lots of different ways. We've opened the hips, we've done the toes, the hands, the spine, the neck. Everything's been nourished at least a little bit with that breath and intention, that mindfulness. Maybe you sit here and take a few more breaths. Maybe you try one of those moves that felt really good. Maybe you do this every morning or every night or once in a while. Typically in a yoga class also, you'll end with the word namaste, and there's several interpretations of it, but you know, the one that I kind of cling to is that, you know, we are connected as humans and there's a light in us. So, you know, I tend to believe, you know, universally that, you know, we were intentionally, mindfully created. We have an intelligent design, and that is God within us, breathing life into us. We're a miracle. Like, so I think about these things, and when I hear namaste, I think, you know, what is so beautiful about me and, you know, how I was intelligently designed. I see that in you and I honor it. So it's like this thread that's between us, acknowledging that there's more than just a sack of bones here. There's more than just a brain here. There's something that connects us together. And I know I feel that. I'm grateful. If you've practiced with me, I'd love your thoughts, feedback, what felt good, if there's something new. I just love that feedback. But I hope that it serves you. And thank you for practicing with me. Namaste. Our next video will be teaching you sun salutations, more traditional yoga moves.